Levi, turn towards Ta. Put your arm, beautiful, Ta, more casual. Put your arm around him. Ta, give me a bit more of a side profile. Chin up a little bit. Thank you. And look at Ta. Beautiful. Levi, say cheche.
Wow, what a journey the last few years have been. I mean, if we'd be having this conversation 3 years ago, I don't know. Let's just say I never would have imagined we'd be where we are today. We all worked very hard, especially Levi. I am so proud of everything he has accomplished. When Levi started school, my wife and I realized there was something different about him. All the other boys seemed to enjoy each other's company. Levi never talked about his friends, he was never invited for play dates, and he was a disaster waiting to happen at birthday parties. By the time he was in 2nd grade, we were sure something was wrong. Levi's social life was still non-existent, and now we had to come to terms with the reality that he still wasn't really reading. When Levi turned 10, it started sinking in that we had a serious problem. Every time the phone rang, my stomach dropped because I knew it was probably Levi's teacher calling to share the daily smorgasbord of trouble Levi caused. He wasn't focusing in class, he couldn't keep up with the lessons, couldn't understand them either, and to top it all off, he still couldn't read very well. Levi's social challenges hadn't improved either. He still didn't have any friends, and according to his teacher, he just didn't know how to relate to other boys. Social cues that were obvious to other kids were meaningless to him. Instead of communicating, Levi would lash out at other kids. They eventually started avoiding him. Levi would get off the school bus and he had this miserable expression on his face that made us want to cry. Occasionally he would confide that he felt very alone, he had no friends, and it just broke our hearts. At home it was pretty much the same. Levi had no idea how to play with his siblings, to interact with them. They were always fighting. We were at a loss. How would Levi get through life like this? How could we help him improve his social skills so he could communicate in a healthy fashion? Would he ever learn to read? How could we help him improve his grades? We felt so helpless. Levi's teacher recommended Neurolinks. He had seen Neurolinks' success firsthand with his own daughter. Then, he recommended the program to another student, and that student was succeeding tremendously. It took just 2 months for the child to turn around.
When my parents mentioned the idea of Neurolinks, I was really excited. I mean, what did I have to lose? I had no friends, I hated school, I was ready to try anything. We had an appointment at the Neurolinks office to evaluate my situation. The evaluator wanted me to start right away. It would take about 6 months, maybe a little more or a little less.
I took Levi to Neurolinks once a week for a 1-hour session with his instructor.
I'm going to show you this strip, okay? You're going to count till 12. I'm going to hide it at 10. You're going to finish counting till 12. And then we're going to see if you could put it in the right order. Ready? Go.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
The two of us had lots of homework. 5 homework sessions per week, to be exact. After just a few weeks, my wife and I could see Levi was already changing. His attitude was much better. Neurolinks was working wonders. Levi started looking forward to his weekly sessions, and he was gratified at each achievement. It wasn't easy, but I guess the thrill of knowing he was improving made it worth it for him.
Touch, back, throw, catch, switch, touch.
I really enjoyed the Neurolinks sessions. Each week I learned new exercises to challenge me more. My instructor always explained the exercise. You know, what skill it was and how it helped me. This helped me stay motivated and focused. There was no greater thrill than graduating to the next level at Neurolinks. So when an exercise got too easy, we would go on to a harder one. It felt really good.
After just 2 months, Levi's reading was tremendously improved. And after 3 months, we began to see changes at home. Levi was actually playing nicely with his brothers. He helped around the house, and believe it or not, we could even rely on him to babysit. It was so beautiful to see. After Levi completed Neurolinks' 6-month program, he was a completely different child. He was more focused and alert, and he was able to sit in class and do his work without anyone looking over his shoulder. His reading improved to the point that it was as if he had never had any difficulty at all. Levi was considerate of his siblings, and he even made new friends. He was no longer the socially awkward boy in the class. He learned how to share his toys and take turns and play like one of the other kids. His teacher reported that Levi was doing extremely well, and he was up to par with all the other students. I can't tell you how good it felt to hear that. His grades had gone up. He was an active member of the classroom. We would just beside ourselves with joy. And now, it's hard to believe that Levi is bar mitzvah. No longer the disruptive, socially awkward 10-year-old, but the mature, considerate, social 13-year-old we now know and love. He is truly ready to transition into adulthood, thanks to Neurolinks.
I will forever be thankful to Neurolinks for how my life has changed. Neurolinks is really the best gift that a parent can give their child.